Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are on this journey to love. And so, this is a message all around keeping your heart connection as your strongest connection, and moving into, instead of using your eyes, move into your third eye and trusting your intuition. I'm also going to share some letters from the books today. Yesterday, I went to see E.T. There was an amazing performance they did the whole film of E.T. to an orchestra. And it was so amazing. And of course, I got so many more messages through the film this time round. And not least was the part at the end. He's going with his finger, and I forgot they do this. So in the weekly read this week, we got the Heal the Ouch card, and it was with the fox. And I always say use the power of the fox to help you come into your union, because fox medicine, they are cunning. They can get through any situation, so it will help you and your twin to come together. But the Heal the Ouch card was about saying, that we're healing from the past. And right at the end of the film, before he touches his third eye like this and says, I love you, they both kiss each other. They both kiss their fingers and then touch each other like this, and they go, ouch, because they're saying it's going to be, what they're saying is that it's going to be E.T. and Elliot. They're saying, ouch, it's going to be sad because I miss you. But they both know that they're always connected by their third eye. And so right at the end, when E.T. goes off in his spaceship, he creates a rainbow in the sky. And of course, that was so amazing, because in yesterday's reading, we got the rainbow card, which was about trusting in, you are being pushed into the higher realms. And so trust, trust, trust. So it was, again, just some beautiful confirmation. And the letter that came through the film was number 17, because Elliot's brother is wearing a football shirt with 17 on it. So I'm just going to read you number 17. And just before I do that, there's lots of people that say very similar things, and I completely can relate and understand it. So it's like, we know what we have to do, as in we need to focus on the heart connection and focus on the guidance about not looking at the 3D and living from the heart and really trusting in what your intuition and what your telepathic connection is. But sometimes it's so hard when the real life isn't showing that at all. And the reason being is because there's a huge amount of collective energy and collective fear. And it just really brought it home when I was watching E.T. as well, because of course the immediate thing that they do to E.T. is put him, in incubators and all of these things, because they're fearful of him. And of course they want to experiment on him and do all these sorts of things. And it is purely driven by fear that happens, fear of something different. And what happens is, the closer you're getting towards your union, the more the shadow wants to block your light, because the more the fear steps in, because it's frightened of actually of having the light exposed. And so that's why you're tested more and more and more as you come further and further and further on your union path, because the more light you spread, you're literally like a light beam, and the more light you're spreading out, the more attention basically you're drawing, right, from the shadow. Which is why you just have to think of yourself as a blaster gun, and you're just blasting away all this shadow that comes, which is why there is so much focus to stay in the heart connection, because that is the only truth. Your heart sends out these blasts of light. And so that's why there is so much guidance to follow your heart and not focus on what's going on in the 3D, because the shadow could be doing all sorts of things with your twins to make them behave in a certain way, which is basically, fear. Fear makes you do some really bizarre things, right? So, letter 17 is this. that everything that she has an inkling about, she should believe. She knows the truth. You know the truth about us, about me, about our time and our path together. You need to trust that what you feel is real, even though it doesn't make any sense to your logical brain how you know that. But that's the thing. That's the greatest lesson of all, that love defies all logic. There is no explaining it. There is no judgment in it. There is no pain in love. When you really focus on the love and not the fact that we're not together in our bodies, when you focus on your heart and the fact that we have always been together, saving each other and guiding each other to the light, always, always there, right by each other's side, in times of need, in times of joy, in times of sadness, across all time, space and realities, we are one. Now, what was so lovely is I was sat on that's from the first book. These are the Divine Love Letter books. I highly recommend, again, I always say it, but highly recommend you to buy these, because I can see why I've been guided to do these letters and these books, because it's through this that you can stay in that love connection. And so you can move out of that fear for yourself, because you're having a constant confirmation from your twins. One of these letters in these books is about 2 peas in a pod. And we are being fed by the giant beanstalk, which is another great analogy to think about what you're doing. And yesterday I was sat in seat number 22, which of course is the Divine Star of David, Divine Union. 22, but also the woman next to me was eating peas. So I was like, oh my God, that's so brilliant. So they are always around you everywhere, trying to give you signs. And just remember that you're never doing this on your own. So letter 17 is this: I simply adore you in the simplest way, the truest way, the most honest and wholesome way. Basically with all of me. I love all of you. It's been a hole in my heart that I've been looking to fill, and I know that my search is over. I know that soon our time will come to fill each other's holes, the holes in our hearts where each other's key fits. We hold the key, the sacred key for one another. That's why we felt like there's something missing, that we've always been on the edge of our life beginning. It's because we give each other the key to complete our life mission. We unlock each other's souls. Wow, how gorgeous. That's number 2. That's from book 2. And then from book 3, number 17 is this. And it is: feel me holding your hand, walking you through this windy path that leads us back to our love. Trust that I am here for you. Trust that what you feel is true. Know that you're not going crazy. I did and I do feel the same as you. All of those feelings of true love, overwhelmingly indescribable, uncontrollable feelings, like rushes of adrenaline shooting through our bodies, a sense of coming home, and then overwhelming terror to think we'd never see each other again. All of that we both felt. But now, the beautiful thing is, we never need to feel that feeling of fear and terror and desperation of not seeing each other again, because we will be with one another for eternity. We are eternally entwined by the heart and soul. Well, there you go. So that was number 3, from the Love Letter book number 3. And so I'm also going to share, on the way to the festival hall, I saw this card and I bought this card. And of course on the back of it there is a number. And this is what you have to think. You are so lucky that out of 7 billion people on Earth, you found each other, right? And that really is written on the stars. And so that's what you mustn't forget. And also realize that there is a divinely ordained plan to bring you two together. But also there is also this very real battle of fear versus love, right? And so always remember that, because Fear makes you do some crazy things that you wouldn't necessarily do, and not always nice things because you're fearful. So be compassionate for your twin. Understand that some of their behavior will be because they're frightened, basically. But that's why the messages recently have been all about courage, because you do have to be courageous in love. You do have to be courageous to be vulnerable. You do have to be courageous to carry on going and trusting in your heart, no matter what the outside circumstances look like. And so I was guided to send my twin a video yesterday, but I didn't do it again because I was questioning my intuition. And then a lady came to me for a letter, and I'm going to read it to you because she said I could share it. So her letter from her twin was, I promise you with all of my heart and soul that I am coming for you. There is no way that we are not going to experience this crazy, incredible love journey together. I haven't come down to do this life, forget why we came, remember who we are, what we came here to do, and then fulfill our divine destiny. There is just no way that that is going to happen to us. Not if I've got anything to do with it. I want us to have the most unbelievably amazing life in every way. In love, in passion, in romance, in adventure, in tenderness, in childlike, beautiful, romantic, no holds barred love. I want to love you with every single cell in my body, just as you love me. There is no way I'm going to let that pass me by. No way. I want to be loved. Right, so I heard back from this lady actually when I was in the orchestra, and she said, I'm sitting here grinning like a Cheshire cat because he used to talk about cells in the body often and the energy in them. She says, I swear, it's like he was standing in front of me talking to me. Not sure what I was expecting, but it is truly amazing. You are amazing. Thank you for giving me your gift. Well, as soon as I got that, and she said that that's what he actually said about cells in the body, I was then kind of like, okay, well, I totally, because this is the thing, even I question my own intuition, right? But when I'm doing it for all of you guys, I'm like, oh no, that's totally, I don't question it at all, especially when I get confirmations back like that. And it came to me, her email came back at the perfect time, because I then did do what my guidance was saying and send my twin a video. And I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have questioned myself and thought, is this that, I probably would have done, to be honest. But at the same time, doing the letters for you and getting those amazing confirmations is just wonderful because, the telepathic connection, just like with ET, they feel each other, right? They feel each other, they sense each other, they know what's going on with the other one. And so you must trust in that. Trust in it, because I see it all the time, and everything that that telepathic connection is super strong. So believe. There is 7 billion people on Earth, and you found your twin, whether you found them in spirit, whether you found them in physical, whether you found them in whatever form. It's an amazing, amazing thing. So enjoy living from your heart. Feel the union in your heart and then live the union. All right. I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.